We are back. Long time, everyone. Welcome. Excited to have you join us again.
Yes, we decided that we missed everybody. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. I've missed everybody. How is
Yeah.
everybody doing today?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we did a lot for the last little while. We've been hunkered down and producing lots of new content and trainings, and we have been super busy with our community and coaching and new clients. So, but we realized that we were finally okay. Not only do we have to come back and do hot topics because everyone keeps asking for it, but we also are starting Tech City today as well.
Yes. Yeah, something it's I think it's always interesting when people have ideas, right? And those ideas end up on the back burner, right? Because
Right.
other priorities take effect. So
Yep.
sometimes it's okay, are those ideas still worthy to go forward? Or are
Right.
those ideas kind of going, you know what, maybe not? And Tech City has always been one that has always moved to the forward and then client, as we all
Yeah.
know, right? Clients and community and all of that kind of stuff had to take priority. So
Yeah.
we put it on the front burner for 2024 and
Yes.
wanted to move forward because it's just I'm finding it's just such an exciting time when it comes to technology, and it's an exciting time when it comes to all the stuff that's out there that business owners can now do either on their own or outsource the people who are they're outsourcing to. It's just there's so much and it's exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the cool thing is, for those of you who are in our community, we do live coaching every Wednesday, and part of it is we have been obviously sharing tech, but more importantly, when you're in our coaching community, you can ask us, right? Hey, what can I use for this? Because we're going to talk to you today about some of the tech that we use, but we don't know exactly what you need. So our coaching, our community members are always saying, "This is what I have to do. Is there anything you know?" And yes, there's always something we know in the tech world.
Do you
So
have a tool for that? Yes, we do. Right?
yes,
Is
we
there
do.
something that can help me speed up this process? Yes, and we probably know one. And I think what's really fun is, and we've talked about this a lot in the past, is how much we love to test technology. So we
Yeah,
love to test different programs. So even though we say yes, there's probably three or four that we've focused on or tested out,
yeah,
and this is the one that we think is the best for user experience, easeability, how you can make the flow all the way through, because there's some programs that do like one or two pieces and this goes over here and does, another two pieces. But then you find one that's like, wow, it does it all. And we get so
yeah.
excited.
Well, that's what's exciting about 2024. So, interesting today, Hot Topics is going to blend almost right into Tech City because we're kind of talking about all of that because that is the forefront. 2024 is all about fast moving
Yeah.
technology, mostly with AI. And that's what we want to talk about. But what's interesting is, had we launched Tech City last year with
Mhm.
our Hot Topics, it wouldn't have been the same because
Right.
the volume of now software has exploded. It's exploded, and there is so many different tools. And the cool part is they're almost all good,
That,
right?
that's the problem. Like
Yeah,
it,
it's a
it
huge problem.
actually is a little, thank goodness we love to do it. We love to test, we
Yeah,
love to try, we do trials. If we put our sort of quote unquote stamp of approval on it, it's because we have actually used it
we're using
in
it.
real
Yeah,
life examples. But it's true. Like they are all really, really good now. So it's actually becoming more difficult because before it was very easy for us to discern, okay, well, we'll purchase this one, but not this one. Now it's like, yikes. Like it's
we,
actually
we
like, I really like this one, but I really like this one too. And I really
Yeah,
like this
which
one.
one
And
do we
it's,
use?
yeah.
Like that, and literally on a daily basis. Like every
Yeah.
time I look at my notifications, there's something new because we are in obviously all the appropriate lists
Yep.
to make sure that we are forefront in the knowledge of what's coming up and what's new and what's helping you drive your business as well as optimizing, your internal hours, your revenue, everything that you spent a lot of time doing and, is now changed to several minutes instead of several days or hours or however long it took you. But what's interesting is we have spent a disproportionate amount of our time with our clients for the last couple of months on AI.
Yes.
And if you've not dipped your toe into the AI field, now is the time. And it's not scary. It's
Nope.
quite easy to start. And we have spent a great deal of time with not only our community, but associations that we've been doing webinars for on AI, and clients that want us to solely focus on what they need for their AI pieces, and can we go ahead and implement it for them, because they just want to know how to use it, but they don't want to set it up, which is great. We don't mind at all because we think it's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
But
But I think it
um,
was really interesting. One of our
oh, sorry, that's my dog.
so Oz is saying hello, and that's all good to whoever's coming to your front door.
Yeah,
But I think it was really interesting. I think the last one of the last webinars that we did for an association, it was very interesting to see the diversity around, yes, I've kind of played with it and kind of dipped my toe into, versus other people hadn't even tried it. And then
right.
during, they had done exactly what we had told them to do. And then they're like, oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know it could do that. Like, I didn't know it could help
And
me
I
that
think,
much.
well, I think the problem is if you are watching us or listening to us right now and you've heard of it, but you haven't even looked at it, and you might think it doesn't play well in your industry, I guarantee you, it will play well in any industry, in anything you do, and even if you're not in a business, for your day to day life. We've said this a lot, that you've been using it on a daily basis anyway. If you're using Siri or Alexa, or you're looking at Netflix and it's giving you recommendations based on what you're watching, or any of the social media algorithms that are out there, that is all AI. So you're already there. It's just a matter of embracing it and saying, "Hey, what can I do?"
Well,
Right?
also
What
in
can
the
I
programs that I think are already in existence, it's all of a sudden you'll see like a little magic button on the right that says, "Hey, do you want, AI to help you write this?" If you're
Right.
doing, even Facebook ads, I'll go into the back end of a Meta, I guess I should call it, in the back end of the Facebook Meta industry platform, and all of a sudden I'm like writing the copy, and there's this little magic button that says, hey, like, do you want some suggestions? So they rewrite what I've already written in a
Right.
different way. And all of a sudden, I have 6 or 7 different versions of that particular ad copy. And that's not even going outside the Meta platform. So, taking all of that, all the different programs are now integrating AI into what they do on their back end. So,
Every one of them.
even Canva, right? They've got Magic
Canva's
Write.
one of the biggest ones. And,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't looked into Canva, or you probably have it and you only use it to make, thumbnails and stuff, but it does everything. It can create videos for you. It can, one of the coolest things that we looked at and found last a couple of weeks ago, and listen, we learn it from all different vehicles. So it's
Yeah.
not like, we know everything, but we're always cognitively, we're looking for it. So Canva, what you can do now, which is the coolest thing I've seen, is you can bring in a graphic that has writing on it, and Canva will allow you to click. Can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
Grab
Text.
text
I think
or
it's text
something,
grab.
and you can go ahead and change those words, keeping the exact same font if you want, everything as is. Because for those of you who have played with AI for pictures, even the ads that Stacy was talking about, the one thing AI doesn't do that well is spell for some reason. And
Yeah,
they always
really
seem to get
interesting, right? Yeah. We don't know
weird.
why yet.
No. So you can take that graphic into Canva, click that button, it'll change it. Or you can say, grab the specific, if there's a person in it, it'll grab that person and take it out, fix all the background on its own, and then you can input whoever you want in it. So Canva's an amazing feature. That's not what we're talking about in Tech City, but we talk about Canva because literally we're in it every day, right? Most people are. But I
And I think
mean,
it's also a good way for people who have not had any experience with AI, because a lot of people use Canva for
yes.
all kinds of different things. So it's a great way to dip your toe into, again, Magic Write, the images, expanding images, background removal, changing text from an image that you imported that already had it in. Like
Making
there's so much stuff. Yep.
entire presentations with just telling it what you want to talk about. It will find that presentation for you and create at least the first several slides so that you know how to stay online with it, which is great. But one of the things that I think that we get a lot of pushback on, and we did in several of our webinars with associations, is that people go, well, if I use it, is it plagiarism and ethically and this and that? And we asked the last question, last webinar, we said, where would you use it? And they said, well, if I'm writing blogs, I can't just use it as is. And I'm like, wait a second. What do you think it does, right? It doesn't grab somebody's pre-written blog. What it does is it goes out there and it scours the internet and it searches for all the really great information for what you were looking for in a blog, condenses it. So it does your work for you, your research, it condenses it, brings it in, and then you can use that as an outline. And you can also use it, you can put it in your own words. But they said, well, but is that plagiarism? Well, I said, well, if you wrote a blog today, what do? You go out and read everybody else's blogs and papers and research. You look at them, you take the best points, you condense them, right? So all that ChatGPT or Gemini are doing for you is they're your research assistant. How cool is
Exactly.
that? So it went from an entire day maybe of researching to literally 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't like the way it sounds, I think the best one that I saw, because I don't find I talk in, kind of university professor, very serious tone sometimes because we get it. So I was like, can you make it more witty? Can you make it more
Yeah.
sarcastic? That kind of stuff. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, that sounds more like
One of
me.
the best prompts to use is redo in a grade 8 level education.
Oh,
And
that's an
then
interesting one.
it totally changes. And then for you guys, so before I forget, we have free training. We have a couple of free training masterclasses on AI in our community. So you can go to our community. It's hub.themastermind.city. Yes.
It is.
And I get that right. And you can join for free and watch these. But here's why you want to do it. Because in the first basic one, I'm going to show you how to actually use the way you write and the way you speak, and ask ChatGPT or Gemini to do it in the way you sound when you write. And it's very simple. It's a little tiny prompt, but if it's there for you, we also have a whole pile of prompts already ready for you within our community. So I encourage you, it's free. I encourage you to watch the masterclass so that you can feel comfortable with being able to go, okay, I think I can do this, and just play with it and have a good time. But if you are not doing anything, now is the time. Carve out an hour, carve out whatever you can. It doesn't have to be during the day. It can be at night or whatever you want, but carve out some time to actually say, okay, I'm going to learn this, because it's going to be rapidly changing everything, right? As Stacy said, it's in every corner of everything that you look at now. And if you don't start acknowledging that, you won't be able to take advantage of all the new programs. And trust me, we'll be talking about AI programs on Tech City for all year.
There's some really good ones. Absolutely. So, is there a disadvantage, in your opinion, to using AI?
No. Can I actually just say
Because there
that?
are
No.
people who are kind of pushing back again, well, what about that personal touch? What about that human interaction? What about, because I'll admit make a phone call to a customer service line and it's getting, more difficult to get in
It
touch with.
is, but I think
However,
there's a difference between, understand that, when you're holding, especially for banks and for like Bell Canada, they're terrible. They have a lot of hoops that, I was on pressing a million buttons to get somewhere the other day. That's not because of AI. That's been going around for a
that's a long
long
time.
time.
Absolutely. But I
Actually,
think
AI will make it faster.
it does, because it actually is recognizing your voice better and it's giving you answers based on the information from the site. So sometimes it can be very helpful. I
Yeah.
think um, sort of what I'm seeing is that AI is such a big topic. Everyone's
Huge.
calling everything AI
Right.
from, again, like you said, Siri or Alexa, their
Yeah.
AI, and then coming all the way down as you know, activate mine from
I
that.
mean, I guess, as I said, if you watch our masterclass, you're going to understand all the basics of it, which you just need a little bit of basics. That's all you really
Yeah.
need to start. And then once you realize, what it can do and how much time it can save you, that's number one. First of all, it's going to save you a lot of time, a
Yeah.
lot of grief, a lot of research, and it'll help your business grow. In terms of, and let me just give you an example, sorry, in terms of business growing, you talked about wanting answers and you want to maybe talk to somebody personally. Here's the thing, and this is where maybe I disagree with some people, but sometimes I don't want a person, I want the answer.
Yes.
And how many of you call and you're smarter than that person on the line? And that drives me crazy
Yeah.
because I want the answer and that person doesn't have the answer. AIs are trained to have the answer. So you can put a bot on your website and it can scrape all the data. And then if somebody asks that bot a question, the bot will answer based on your data. So I'll give you an example that happened today. A company that we do a lot of work with announced this upgrade, this thing that they want to upgrade. And they said, if you upgrade because you were a beta tester, you can
Yep.
have a free month. Great. Well, how much is the regular price? It's great if I could have a free month, but what would I pay after, right?
Right.
So I went to their bot, no answer. So then I went to their chat with a real person and they said, I have to get back to you. We'll send you an email. And then I got an email that said, we haven't released the public pricing yet, so we'll let you know. Well, I mean, there's two problems here. One is they should never have sent out an email, first of all. But
Yeah.
the other problem is, had it been trained, a bot been trained with the pricing page, it could have given me an answer in 10 seconds.
Right.
That's all I wanted. I did
Yeah.
not want to talk to anyone. I just wanted an answer.
Yeah. I don't want to
So,
talk about the background. I don't want to talk about the why. I don't want to talk about other services.
no.
I want my solo answer.
So I think it's massive what it can accomplish and how much time it can save you. So I want you all to think about the last time you were waiting for tech support or you're waiting for any support and you ended up talking to somebody that didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Right? You might have waited 45 minutes for a real person to come online and you didn't get an answer.
Yeah. Or just you wanted something simple like yes or no. Can I do this?
Yeah.
Like you said, what's the price? Whatever the case may be, right?
So I think it's very important that everyone jumps on board and starts learning because it is moving in a rapid pace. And even though you don't think it can help your industry, I guarantee you it will. It will. Absolutely any business industry, anything you can think of, it can help you. It can even help you in your personal life. So definitely help you in school. And you know what's great? I love one of the things that if I was a student, what I would do is it summarizes videos for you, right?
Yes.
So if you are watching a prof who's given you an online lecture or given you a video or an audio, you can plug it in and it will summarize the key points. So there's nothing there that's cheating. It's just
No, or
summarizing.
even just listening to the lecture, you can click the button that says transcribe it a live transcription as they talk, and
Yeah,
then
and
ask what are the key points? Study notes, summarization.
yeah,
Again, that's not cheating because the prof is sitting there saying, this is really important. It should be on the test,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So
the
it's the same
difference
thing.
is what took you 3 days before to summarize, because sometimes these lectures are very long, would literally take you 10 minutes. So then you would actually be able to spend time learning the concept and
And
understanding it and
studying.
working through it and studying rather than listening to a very long-winded, lecture that may not be, maybe like there's three key points and that's all you really needed, right?
Well, that's the unfortunate part. I remember in university, like, that's great that this is an hour, but it could have really been probably been 10 minutes. It's all
Exactly.
I really need to know. Yeah,
So
I
it's the
think from
same
that
thing with,
perspective, it's great.
so you could theoretically go to our hub. You could watch, you could put an AI to listen to my masterclass, and then you could ask the AI to summarize the key points. Like, how cool is that?
Well, I've been having a lot of fun from the AI perspective in regards to video, and we just did the One Shot Wonder video clip
Yeah,
workshop, and there's lots of different programs that do that. But what I'm finding is that it is getting better and better.
yeah.
So, there's one that I
From
just,
last month when
yeah,
you did it.
yes, literally. Um, when did we literally did it a month ago, and there's
Yeah,
already two programs that supersede some of the
yeah,
stuff. And that's why we have the resources page that we're constantly updating so that you can see those new programs. But what I'm finding is, they suggest, clips, they suggest information that's going to be more valuable to the listeners because they understand what you're looking for and what
yeah.
viewers might be looking for, et cetera, et cetera. And then they're like, but if you don't like this clip, you can get your own and you can do all this stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. You did a
Exactly.
great job. No editing required. So I love the fact that it's so much easier to be able to pull small pieces of information because we know we have short attention spans,
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily that we have short attention spans. It's just that we want the information in a concise piece of content rather than having to listen to somebody for an hour. Can you give me a couple of minutes where I can get the
yeah,
key points? And
yeah.
then they're pulling different pieces together. So I'm really happy with how that is becoming
Yeah.
a much easier process.
Well, I'd like to, you know what? Here's a good analogy for everyone. How many of you read summaries? We have on our site. We have book summaries. So it ends up being a 10-minute video that you can watch, and it summarizes an entire book, so you don't have to read it.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's so many book summaries and apps on right now that you can, like, there's one that I just got, Headway, I think it's called, that you can listen 10 minutes or you can read it, or it'll change it into an infographic for you. So that, yeah, it's very cool. So you don't have, and I use it just because I like to listen while I'm in the car. I listen to short summaries because they're only 10 minutes.
Yep.
So, and we have our own. So, but I've already listened to those because that's why we have the summary. So I try to listen to other ones. But here's the thing, they're very well known. It's kind of like the old school Cole's Notes, Sparks Notes. Remember when you're in school
Oh,
and
I
it's
remember Cole's notes. Nobody in today's can remember Cole's notes.
no. So that was when you're in school, and I think it's called Sparks Notes in the United States, right? I
I
think
think so,
so.
yeah.
Then you would have this big huge book that you're supposed to read, and it would summarize it, and it would give you key points, characters, etc. So really think of AI as doing the same thing, right? It's exact same thing. It's taking all that information and distilling it down so you can learn it very quickly. So you can imagine the volume of information you can learn because now you've taken what used to be hours of your time and condensed it down to a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly, which is very, very cool.
So again, you need to go to the hub and watch AI honestly, because we every single day we have questions from people on our social media or emailing us or while we're just out and about. They're always asking us about AI. And the best thing you can do is find a free resource, which we have for you, and at least understand the big picture
Yeah.
so that you're able to go ahead and bring it home.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, like you said before, it's, oh, but that won't work for my industry. Oh, I know it's good for, like, business owners or small businesses or something like that, but that's not going to really work for my industry. And yes, 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 and yes, right? So I think that's been the fun thing when
Yeah,
doing some of these webinars is when we pull up actual prompts for their industry and
for
to
their
see what it
industry.
produces. Like we customize the presentation and we pull it up and they're like, oh, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know it could do that.
Yeah, so if you have an industry or an association, reach out because we do webinars on AI for anybody. So anything you can possibly think of, we can show you how to integrate AI into it. So it's just as Stacy said, it's anything you can possibly think of, any industry. People just don't think about it. So I encourage you. You can do ChatGPT, Gemini. I can't ever remember Microsoft's name
I
for
can
free.
never
Just
remember that
sorry,
one.
we don't use Microsoft. So,
We're not Microsoft people.
but all of those language models are free. So you do not have to upgrade. You can just go for free, try it out, and again, look at all your software because it's probably already integrated and you don't even know it because you haven't paid attention. Like us, like sometimes we look at our software and we go, "Oh, I just found one yesterday. I hadn't logged into this program in over a year," and they sent an email out and they said, "Hey, we've incorporated AI," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I logged in and there it was, but I didn't know they were even doing it. Never even occurred to me.
Well, that's where, again, it is literally in every corner of any of the online space. If you go there, there's probably some sort of magic button somewhere on all the programs that
Yes.
you use. It's now integrated. It's part of what programs are doing. And if you haven't logged into some of your programs, I would encourage you to do that because I think it's probably there. They've probably done an upgrade, and you can probably use the program a little bit differently than you did in the past.
Yeah.
So,
You
speaking of
can.
programs,
Yay. So we are transitioning into Tech City.
I need a new intro.
We need an intro for Tech City. So when you see this as a replay, you'll see one because we're going to make one for you. And who's going to make it? AI.
AI.
So our
So
first,
stay tuned for that. But can
yes.
you give us, before we dive into this program, I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can actually see what this program is. But
And
because you found this program, so
yeah,
can you give us a little bit of what it
little
does?
preamble. Little
Sorry, yeah, the
preamble. So,
preamble without giving the
okay,
name yet, just kind of
no.
why you were wowed by it.
So first of all, whatever we talk about on Tech City, if you go to the mastermind.city and go to our resources page, I think the link might be on the bottom footer. I'm not sure if it's in the nav bar, but it's in the bottom
It's on your
footer.
screen right now.
Okay, so if you go to our resources page, this is all the tech that um, we're using more than that, but this is the tech that we know you would benefit from by using it. So this company is there, and the reason we tell you to go to the resource page, is because sometimes we give out the name and people go, what was that? And then we get a million emails that say, what was the company again?
What
So
was the
this
name of the
way,
program?
anything that
Exactly.
we are using is on there. So,
Yeah.
except in the next 2 weeks, you'll probably see a heck of a lot more because we are right now trialing so many things that we don't even know which one to recommend because they're all great. So, this one, so how many of you do YouTube videos? Think to yourself, or is it something that you want to start doing, right? You know, if you've listened to us before, you know I'm a YouTube girl. It's where I love watching YouTube. That's where I get all my information most of the time. And so when you're doing YouTube, most people think they can upload a video, which is cool. They can do the start. Then it's how do you get seen, right? Well, you have to do the description and the keywords and the hashtags, and then you can have chapter outlines. And it's a lot of work, right? And
Timestamps
we've
and
been guilty of not doing it either because of that, right?
well, it does
Because
take
every
time because
video,
a lot of people feel that, or a lot of people assume that if you build it, they will come.
yeah,
So
no,
you have a video, you upload it to YouTube, people will watch it, everybody's happy. Well, it
right.
doesn't really work like that.
No. So you have to get your description, your hashtags, your keywords, and then even if you do spend, all day doing one video, you get that all done and you still don't get traction, you don't really know what's going wrong, right? You can
Right.
look at the analytics in the back a little bit, but you just know how many people are viewing it, but you don't really know why it's not catching. Why aren't more people looking at it? So we established one of our channels is called Clarity Wellness Collective, and it is our soft side of Mastermind City. So that's where you'll find a lot of health and wellness and personal development, lots of videos, summits we created through one of our companies like Forest 17. So all of those are on this channel. And we uploaded a lot and we're still uploading. We have so many hundreds of videos.
Yeah.
So it was a little daunting because Stacy uploaded it. And then my job was to do search for descriptions and keywords. Now you can go ahead and go to ChatGPT and put a headline and say, can you give me a description? But it's not really a description of yours, right? You're just giving it a line, right? And it's writing out what a description could be, but that's not really your video.
Right.
So it was a little bit, I was hesitant, right? I was like, oh, this is going to take, like, this is a 6-month project. So there's no way we can get it done. And I was like, there must be a software out there that can help me out. So we found this amazing software. Kudos to them. We found this amazing software, and here's what it does in a nutshell before Stacy shows you. You upload your video, right? You have a link to your video. You go into this software, you put the link in the software and just the keyword of what it is. So if it was like yoga, you would just put the link and the word yoga, and then you click a button. And then what it does, it analyzes your entire video. It writes a complete description based on your video. It's not a AI generated that has nothing to do with it. It's based on your video. It then creates all the chapter timestamps. Then it creates all the hashtags, the keywords, okay? And if you don't have a thumbnail, it will create a thumbnail for you as well. And then you can click the big button on the bottom that says sync to YouTube, and you connect your YouTube channel, which is very simple, so don't worry about that. And then it pulls all of it into your YouTube backend. And if you like it as is, you click save. That's it. So what would have taken me probably at least an hour, maybe 2 hours per video is now literally 1 minute, not even. Maybe
Yeah, I was just going to
seconds.
say I was literally going to say an hour per video. By the time you went to a program, uploaded the video, had the writing, the description, title suggestions, going through that. What do you recommend for keywords? What do you recommend for here? Creating the thumbnail, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This kind of does it all. So it's kind of cool.
And I got to tell you one more thing about it. We're going to show it to you in a minute. But one more thing about this software is, so you upload a bunch of them and you've done maybe, let's say you did 10 this month, right? You can go into behind in this software and it will tell you your worst performing video. And it will say, do you want to re-optimize it? So you click the button, it will create a new description and new hashtags to see if that works better for you than the former one. But the cool thing is it's coming up with the correct hashtags and keywords based on what YouTube is showing to people, what best practices is, what relates to your video. I can't say enough. I love this.
And I think what's really interesting about this is that, because I remember we obviously trialed it on 2 of our videos, which you'll see in a second. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, I would never have thought of that title, because you get so stuck in your head, I think, as a business owner, we're like, but this is what it is and this is what I want to call it, that you don't really think outside the box, or maybe you just don't, like, I'm not a creative person when it comes to titles and words and all of that kind of stuff. So I go, oh, well, that's really interesting. And what's really fun, because I'm an analytics person, I love looking at the numbers, is that you go, oh, well, it only had this many views before. But I was pretty proud. I was like, you know what? I really like that title. And I thought the description was good. And, but it only has this many views. And you kind of go, huh. And then all of a sudden, we put this through and we changed the title, we changed the description, it updated the keywords, et cetera, et cetera. And all of a sudden you go back and you look at the views and you go, holy cow, that really worked. So then you
Yeah.
kind of go, okay, let's go. And, how can we do this? So
And it really did. I mean, I've done, I don't know, maybe 20 right now. And it's fascinating when it gives you 10 different titles to choose from, and it'll tell you the mark. Is this, which one's the best?
right.
If you don't like any of them, you can re-optimize. But here's the interesting thing about it. As Stacy said, when it changes the title, I consider myself a really good copywriter. And I'm fascinated that when I used it, it created a new title for my own videos. It was better
Yeah.
than what I had called it. So it's kind of cool. So ta-da, let's go.
So drum roll.
Yeah.
It is called Taja.
Yeah. So if you, like I said, just go to our resources page, and then you'll be able to see it. So this is how easy the interface is, right? Stacy, do you want to walk through it, or
So it's
do you want me to?
literally, you would click here and you would
Mhm.
exactly what Faye said earlier, put in the YouTube link, put in a keyword, and click optimize. One,
Right.
2, 3, very, very easy. So we have done a couple
Mhm.
that we did. So these are the ones that we sort of started with. Let me just scroll down to the
Yeah, because
bottom here.
I did all those this morning.
I
So
was like,
there's
wow, all this, that wasn't there earlier.
well,
So for example, Faye had done, again, we did a summit for 417, and she did one that she called Buddhism in Nature. Great title. The description we thought was great. But what
yeah,
it did, which was really interesting, which is what I thought was really cool, in the video, you mention a loving kindness meditation.
right, and that's
But we
what that's
never thought to put that in the description.
no,
But
and
the
that's what I focused the entire video for. So if
which
you,
was an interesting concept. So it pulled this title again. It's pulling information that you've already said. It's pulling information that's already there. So when we looked at this later, it was
you can click in it on it, just click right in it. There we go.
so
So I just want to show you the top. I put the URL, the link at the top,
yeah,
right? And there's my keywords. That was all that was in it, right?
yeah,
And so when we hit optimize, it first creates an entire transcript. So if you want the transcript in, it's there, but YouTube does it, so we don't worry about that. And there's the titles it gave me. And it gave me virtual scores, right?
which I thought, well, I love this part. I love the
Yeah.
fact that it's, oh
And
my
then
goodness, it's so easy to see.
if you scroll down, it will show you what it looks like if you change your titles, right? So it actually shows you if you want to click one, you keep it. If you don't, you just move on. If you want to say, I don't like any of them, can you re-optimize? You can.
Yep.
So I picked this, I hit continue, and then if you scroll down, you'll see that it wrote the entire description and it wrote the chapters. So every chapter with a timestamp is on there. Kind of cool, right?
And it actually, when you, again, we've got the tags.
Tags,
We
hashtags are in the
also,
description.
yeah, we could re-optimize if one, but it actually put, like, it doesn't just do the timestamps. It actually, in the video on YouTube, when you go to click on it, it actually, if you clicked on this chapter, it would go to that. So it actually segments the video automatically into these chapters, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, and
Um,
given that all we did was put in the YouTube link, that's really all we
that's all
did.
we did. And then it
So
created tags that it automatically puts over onto the YouTube. All of this is automatically, as soon as you click, sync to YouTube.
yeah. So
That,
if you see the beta, there's thumbnails that it creates, which is kind of cool. So it will create thumbnails based on what it said, what it sees. Now these don't automatically sync because they don't want to automatically sync and ruin a thumbnail that you have. So if
right.
you like something, this is where you can download it. And this is where I say you can put it in Canva or download it as is. But you
Yep.
can download the link, put it in Canva, and then if you want to take out the silhouette of that person and put you there instead, it will automatically do that. But how cool is it to have those generated? So if you wanted to put big script or whatever on top of it, this is only their beta. So when they get better at it, when their AI gets better at it, these thumbnails will be really, really impressive.
Yeah, it's just, I was shocked. So very easy to do. Like, you, there's literally no work.
No work.
Like, the amount of time to pull the copy, pull the transcript, create the thumbnail, um, redo the title, get the description, the chapters, that would take a lot of work within YouTube to pull
Right.
all of that. Research all your tags. You would probably be, like we said before, probably about an hour per video.
At
And
least.
this takes minutes
Yeah.
to
So
do.
you
And then
can
you
show
click
them
save.
another one. You want to show them yours
Yeah.
or anyone? Doesn't matter.
I'll go down. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? There. Let's do this one. So same thing. So I did one on photography and videography. So same thing. YouTube video. I actually did not put any keywords in mine
You don't have to.
because I didn't. I wanted to show. I wanted to see what it would do without the keywords and just pulling from the video itself. I clicked optimize. So same process. It did the transcription. The title. It even puts emojis in there, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
You click select because, again, you've got the score and you can see others. Same thing. As you can see, I've clicked that. So I know that that's what it's going to look like over on YouTube.
And just so let's point something out very clearly. The title of your thing was Capture the Forest.
Right.
Nobody really knew what that meant, right?
I knew what it meant. I didn't understand why nobody else did.
So it relabeled it to Unlock Forest Magic 10 Must Try Photography Hacks. How great is that title in comparison?
Well, like, again, going back to, that's what I said in the video. Because I literally, the video is 10
Yeah,
photography hacks.
right.
But it wasn't in my title, nor
No.
was it in my description. So it recognized that and went, well, why are you like, I feel like it's like the little, like, something on your shoulder going, well, why didn't you just tell people that
Yeah, exactly.
instead of
So,
trying to hide it in the video? So it
right.
pulled it, and then it says it literally right in the beginning, 10 must try photography hacks. It's not different
And
words.
And the cool part too is you can, once you click the button and go over, it'll open up in your YouTube studio for this video, directly for this video. You can still add. So anything you want to add to that description while you're in YouTube, you can add.
Yeah.
So, and you can take things out if you don't like it, right? You could actually take things out here, but you can do it right in the YouTube studio. So you have full control. You don't have to worry about it coming over and going, oh my God, I made a
I
mistake,
didn't
because you
mean to
can
click that
actually,
button and now it's over on
yeah,
YouTube, and how do I find that video and how do I edit it? No, there's a double check.
yeah.
So there's definitely that, again, it pulls it up into YouTube and you have time to scan it going, okay, there's the title. Yes, that's what I want. If there's any spelling mistakes, you have the opportunity to change it. But if you're good with what it is, you just click save and you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about anything.
It's truly one of my favorite softwares I've ever found, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And like I said, we, excuse me, just started using this. So we will be optimizing. We're going to go into the back end and it'll tell us, do you want to, it usually picks 3 videos. We don't have to tell it. It picks 3 videos every month, I think. And it says, you need to re-optimize these because they're not doing so well. And then you just re-click the button again, and it'll go ahead and sync again. So
Well, I think people, I don't know about everybody else, but when you start doing a lot of videos, you continually focus forward and you always focus on the most recent, but sometimes you forget about videos that you've done a few months ago or even a few years ago. But this program will actually help you and go, hey, remember this video? You should click, revive this
yeah,
video. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that's a really good one. And then you
yeah,
have all of this new stuff. But I just wanted to point out what we were saying about spelling. So again, the thumbnails I thought were really cute. Like, I love
yeah.
what they generate for that.
Yeah.
obviously in this particular one, the spelling is incorrect, and this would be one that you would want to take over, and you could adjust
Yeah.
the spelling, which is really good. And
And
then I could generate
super
more.
easy. Super easy to change those thumbnails. I actually used one of the thumbnails today on one of the videos, and I had to change the spelling
Okay.
because it was, so I dragged it into Canva and I changed that simple spelling. And that was it. I think it was the Power Pilates that
Yeah,
I
I was going to say
uploaded.
that one looks different than the others.
And it
Um,
said it had the spelling wrong, and I can't see it from here, but it said, I think it was small was incorrect.
okay.
Um, so I pulled it in because again, this is prefixing, right? So
Yeah.
I pulled like down. If you look at the go to the right, you can see where the download button is, Stacy, just so they know how easy it is. Right at the top, where you can download it.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Oh, you can download the pictures.
Yeah. So you download the picture. It's right in the corner. Anyway, you
Yeah.
download it directly to, and then you put it up in Canva. And I changed that one spelling, and then that was all I did. And then I just went into YouTube and changed the thumbnail.
Yeah, which is
So
perfect.
really great. I thought really great.
So when
Really
you
great
bring
video.
this, so when you click on the picture, sorry, I was in the wrong section. When you actually
Yeah.
click on the, I'll just pull that back again. Here are the thumbnails. When you click on
Yeah.
one, there's the download button right there, that
Right.
little
Yeah.
arrow. So that is how easy it is. And it downloads into a pretty good resolution
Great
photo that you
resolution.
can then manipulate.
So if you actually go to Clarity Wellness Collective on YouTube, you'll see that specific one, because now that we've talked about it, you can look at that one and you can see, you can read the description and you can see the thumbnail. We used everything as is. I didn't change a thing at all in anything. I used the keywords, I used the hashtags, you name it. So and now what we get to do is see, that was a really good performing video for us. And so I want to see, what, how it changes. And here's the cool thing: when you eventually go back to Taja, or what you'll see is that
Spelled it
or
wrong.
it's okay. What you'll see is that in the, I can't do it now because I just loaded it, but in the, you can click on that specific video you did. You can look at the analytics and it will tell you how much better it performed in the last, since you've uploaded it. So since you changed the description, it'll say, you got, 100 more views than normal, or you increased it by X percentage. So it's really, really cool. I encourage you, like I said, go to our resource page, click on it, and see what you think. I can't, like I said, say enough. There might be other ones similar to this. I haven't found one. I know there's some YouTube ones that are not bad, but they don't do as much as this one, or other YouTube ones that are more focused on ads as opposed to generating descriptions. So kind of cool. I
So this
think you
is
will.
the video, and I just wanted to show it from a YouTube perspective, but I just lost the thumbnail.
Yeah.
But that's
So
okay.
if you click on the more in the description,
Right?
there's a thumbnail. Yeah, because it only shows for a minute.
Only
But if
shows
you
for a
go,
second.
yeah. So, but if you click on the description, there it is. You'll see that the whole description now has all the information that's direct from the software. I didn't do any of it at all. I just clicked the sync button. That's all I did. And and I uploaded the thumbnail because I wanted to test an AI thumbnail
Right.
versus what we originally had. So we're constantly testing, which is a great thing for you guys who are going to join us every week, because we'll tell you how it's going. So every time we do a Tech City, we will do an update on the software that we just talked about, so that next week we'll say, yeah, this is what we found they added, or it works even better. So kind of cool.
Exactly. Exactly. So one of the things that I like in YouTube again is the breaking it down by chapter.
Yeah.
And that takes some time to do it manually within YouTube itself. But again, because Tasha does it automatically, I just wanted to show you what that looks like. And there are all the chapters that it did, and it broke
Yes.
up the video and listed them here so that when you click on a particular time, it can go directly to that part of the video. So very smart. I just, yeah, we can't say enough about this. I think I was wowed by the ease of it, and I think more importantly is that the AI pulled the information that you were saying in the video rather than you just kind of typing in a topic and it coming
Right.
up with the title or you it coming up with a description. It actually pulled what's already in the video. So if you already have your videos in YouTube, this is probably the best time saver that that has been
Yeah.
around for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today for what's going on in
Yeah.
the world, what's going on in tech, and we look forward